Am I the asshole for refusing to see my dad because of my stepmother's racist comments? Throwaway. I'm 16, female and half white, half Chinese. My parents have been split up for a while, so I'm mostly over it. They're a lot happier without each other, so while it sucked, it's fine. It's weird sometimes when I'm with my dad. People assume I'm adopted, but usually he's good at correcting people. Except for my stepmom. I really did try to like her in the beginning, but she's kind of racist. The first time I met her, she wouldn't stop touching and commenting on my hair and how I looked like a K-pop star. Face with rolling eyes, face with rolling eyes, face with rolling eyes. It just got worse the longer they were together. She would do things like tell people she was my tiger mom, WTF, and make comments about my body type and plastic surgery. And when she moved in, she had my dad ask me to only speak English in the house and watch English shows because it made her uncomfortable if she couldn't understand what was being said. When they got married, she kinda sneakily left me out of the wedding photos, and when I asked why, she said she wanted a certain aesthetic, which I guess is a nice way of saying white. I've talked to my dad about it a lot, and he says he'll talk to her, but he never does, and also that she just doesn't have a lot of familiarity with Asian people, so I have to be patient with her because she's learning. My mom and stepdad were really angry about how she treats me, but they can't exactly do anything about my stepmom, so they just said that if I ever feel like I need to leave, I can call either of them at any time and they'll come get me. It really hit the fan a couple of weeks ago. My stepmom is pregnant and had her baby shower, and I heard her make a comment about how I don't look very much like my dad, so now he'll also have a kid that resembles him, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I called my mom to come pick me up and left. My dad called me a few hours later and I told him what his wife said, and he said he would talk to her, but I told him he always says that and nothing changes, so I'm not coming over to his house anymore, and maybe he should just stick with his white family. Stepmother texted me to apologize, but I told her it wasn't accepted and I don't want to talk to her anymore. My mom and stepdad and my grandparents on that side support me, but my dad is really upset and my grandparents on my dad's side are really mad at me, and people have been telling me that even if my stepmom is being a pill, I shouldn't write off my dad because he's not the one doing it. I love my dad, but I just don't want to see his wife again, and if that means I don't see my dad too because he won't stand up to her, maybe that's how it needs to be. People who enable racists are racists themselves. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your racist stepmom is, and so is your racist dad. Edit. Posted too soon. Your dad supporting her racist beliefs makes him racist too. You don't deserve to be treated like that just because you don't meet their racist aesthetic. Not the asshole. Cut racists from your life completely. If your father does nothing to stop the stepmother, he condones it. Not the asshole. Every time your dad saw or heard or was told about your stepmother saying or doing something racist, especially involving his daughter, he had the opportunity to speak to her about it. First in private. But the more she did it, he should have been doing it in public. And the fact that she kept doing it means that either he never said anything or that she felt that he didn't really care about her comments. Your father's job was to protect you from your stepmother. He failed. He, and your stepmother, created this situation. You didn't. I shouldn't write off my dad because he's not the one doing it. Wrong. He might not be actively perpetrating it, but he is enabling it, which also makes him racist. At the first instance of racism against you, he should have had a very serious conversation with her about it. At the second, he should have dumped her ass. Instead, he decided to marry and procreate with her vileness. You don't deserve this, and frankly, it's disgusting. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your dad needs to stand up for you. If he won't, you have to assume that he either agrees with his wife, or at minimum he isn't willing to stand up to her. Meaning she is more important to his life than you are. That hurts, but that's what is real. It doesn't cost her anything to simply not make those comments. She is driving you out of his life on purpose. Some step-parents do this regardless of race, but in your case, your appearance reminds her of her husband's ex-wife. It is 100% up to you at your age who you decide to be around. If your dad's family wants you around, or wants you to be around him, they can support your reasoning instead of supporting a racist. My prediction is, in the end, you will see your dad rarely, and mostly one-on-one, and not in his home. Sorry. Not the asshole. Your father is aiding and abetting your abuse and your abuser. Treat him as such. I'm sorry you're dealing with this. Not the asshole stepmom for being racist, and dad because he doesn't stick up daughter or the ah. Plan visits outside of their house and make sure he knows that stepmom is not invited. If he shows up with her, leave immediately. Am I the asshole for not giving my mom access to my money? My uncle and my mom have been arguing over this, and I feel terrible. I don't know what to think. So, my mom let me get anything under $25 to Easter, given it's on Amazon. I got a small mini ATM of sorts. It has a 4-digit passcode, and makes noise when someone attempts to open it and even louder if you fail. Plus it automatically sucks in your money, like an ATM would. I had been looking at this for a while, saving up my allowance and planning to get it. Since it was under the price range, so I asked and she got it for me. It came in yesterday, and I put the batteries in, set the code and already put the money I had in it. I get a $10 allowance, and if I do certain tasks I get an extra $10–20. Which is only about $10 right now. My mom asked for the passcode, which frankly I thought was a joke, so I told her a fake one. I just thought it was her messing with me and trying to get me to laugh. She came home today, and did her inspection of my room. I have been spending the past few days working on the rest of the house, so haven't gotten a chance to. I didn't think she would try anything, so I continued making myself some sandwiches for a late brunch. It was 10 a.m., I couldn't care less. Then I heard the noise it made when you failed the passcode. I tested it night prior just in case, and rushed to my room. What I see is my mom trying to get into it, then turned to me and glared. "You told me the passcode was 1234. Why isn't it working?" I was confused and taken back. Like, who expects this from their mom? I got upset as well and yelled at her to get the F out of my room and away from my money. She left in a huff, and when my uncle came home he got his ear talked, practically yelled off for it. He says I shouldn't have lied, but I didn't have to give her the passcode. Now those two are arguing and I feel really bad for causing it. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole at all. Your mother is pissed off at you because she couldn't break into what amounts to your piggy bank and steal back your allowance. That's next level assholery. Not the asshole. The real question is why your mom is trying to steal your money. Not the asshole have to say better check your credit score with your SS hash. Good job on safe wow. Trust nobody with your money, period. BTW tell her it's none ya business. Not the asshole. Why does she need to know the passcode? Don't give it to her. I had parents who stole our money from our own savings accounts. Money we saved through holidays and birthdays and actually money earned from working odd jobs. Remind your uncle that he may think you're a liar, but that your mom is a thief. Which is worse? Not you. Not the asshole. This is bizarre. Did she offer an explanation for why she would want to get into it? It sounds like either she's a petty thief, or she was irrationally paranoid, thinking you hid drugs in it or something. Either way, she's in the wrong. You and your uncle are right. Not the asshole. And #X200B. But hide most of your money somewhere else. Not the asshole. Your mom needs to stay fuck out of your ATM thing. Not the asshole. YTF does your mother check your room? Did you do something in the past before? Hide your money bro. Am I the asshole for running away? First, this is a throwaway account for privacy reasons. Also I am on mobile so excuse the formatting. I, 20F. Used to live with my mom, step-dad and step-sister who is the same age as me. When my mom married my SD and moved them in I was 12, and from the get-go it was obvious that there was something wrong with SS. I won't even attempt to speculate at a diagnosis but she got really clingy, would throw tantrums and pee herself if she didn't get her way. Also she couldn't regulate her voice and would just blurt whatever she was thinking and touch or take whatever she wanted. Basically she has zero self-control or awareness. I talked with the parents about getting her into therapy and getting her a diagnosis and I was scolded and grounded for bullying her, because that counted as bullying for them, so I never brought it up again. But she latched on me and it ruined my life. Refused her own room, was put in every one of my classes. If I talked with someone else she would throw a tantrum and pee herself at school. And I would end up having to take care of her. If I was invited somewhere and she wasn't I wasn't allowed to go. The only thing I had was swim team because the coach took pity on me and allowed her to join, so I could participate. When I was a junior I turned 18 and got access to some money left to me by my dad and grandparents. That's when I made a plan. I got a P.O. box and didn't tell the parents. They told me that I will be going to the same college as my sister and I didn't argue, and used the P.O. box to apply to other colleges. I got into the farthest one I could get into. Last summer after graduation I bailed in the middle of the night. Only took sentimental things and left everything including my phone. I left a letter and another with the neighbors so they wouldn't file a missing persons report. It has been almost a year and I just checked up on them, stalked them online. For the first time, apparently my SS is committed and the parents are no longer living together. And while I feel vindicated when it comes to the parents, I feel like an asshole towards SS. I know that it wasn't her fault, and with me there she could live more or less normally. Now she is in a facility and all her support system vanished. So am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Your parents failed, both of you. It sounds like running was the only solution. I hope you're doing better now. Not the asshole, and it's suspicious that your SS got committed after you moved. You are an adult in college, so I wouldn't call it running away. It seems like you were forcibly assigned to be the caretaker of SS, and that was basically the only reason why your stepdad and your mother were together. You did nothing wrong, you just protected yourself and your future from being forced to be your SS lifelong caretaker. Good for you, Op. May you recover the life that you were forced to give up. Not the asshole, you did nothing wrong. And your sister is getting the help she needs finally. What you did was help her, not ruin her life. Not the asshole, you voiced your concerns and asked them to get her help. You leaving was the best thing for your future and mental health. I would recommend not looking for them again, as it might flag your account to them but might also bring on additional stress for you. Focus on yourself and live the happiest life you can. With me there she could live more or less normally. She was definitely not living normally, for her own health or yours. And you are not her parent with responsibility for crafting your life 100% around her as you were forced to do in high school. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You are not responsible for your parents' decisions by definition. As soon as you could make yours freely, you made the best one you saw for yourself. It's all that matters, even if, having been made to feel responsible for so much for years, it's probably not fully apparent to you right now. Not the asshole. At the very least your SS is getting some help. At worst, your parents cause her to get to such a state since they never bothered to get her any kind of help and just kept the band-aid of using you to care for her, which is a major asshole thing to do by itself. Not the asshole. You did the right thing for you and for her. The fact that her father was so blind and negligent is a crime. I also can't figure out how no one in the school system would have directed him to another environment for your stepsister. She has had a horrible life because none of the adults in her life chose to do the right thing. She was not living normally when you were around. I would not be surprised if the state took custody of her and found her living environment lacking. Am I the asshole for telling my brother how I honestly feel about his baby? I, 18 male, have never had a great relationship with my brother, 26 male. We don't hate each other, but we aren't close. He's married, and his wife has recently got pregnant. We had a dinner at my mom's house to congratulate them. My mom asked them if it was okay if they let her in the delivery room. They said no, and that was the end of it. They left soon after, but I didn't think anything of it. A week later I found out that his wife felt really disrespected by this. They said they didn't want any contact with my mom for the rest of the pregnancy. I thought this was ridiculous, but I didn't say anything. My mom is obviously sad about it, but she hasn't contacted them since. My brother recently invited me to his baby shower. I told him that he needs to give me a good reason why he is treating our mother like this, or I wouldn't go. He couldn't give me a reason, so I didn't go. 2 days ago he asked me to meet and talk with him and his wife. I agreed, so we met up at their house. They explained that his wife felt very disrespected by my mom. She said that my mom had no right asking to be in the delivery room. They also said that I have no right holding that against them. I told them that I don't care who they have in the delivery room. If they don't want mom in, then it's fine with me. I told them that punishing her for asking was just ridiculous. They then asked me if I really wanted to be in the baby's life. I told that if I had to choose I would choose my mom. A couple of people have told me that I am an asshole, but I don't think so. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. I can understand her being offended. Folk can be offended by whatever and that's on them. But you're right in that punishing your mom simply for asking is wrong. Like if literally all she did was ask once, they're being ridiculous. Now if mom was pestering them relentlessly about it, that would be a different story. They're mad that she respected their boundary and took no for an answer? Not the asshole, your bro and his wife suck. NTA. There is this weird trend of people weaponsing pregnancy and grandchildren. If your mom respected their answer and moved on, there is really no problem here. So you supporting your mom is the right thing. Not the asshole. Your sil is a psycho, and your brother is going along with it. It is absolutely fine not to want someone with you for the delivery. Other than the baby daddy, people usually want their own mother or sister, the closest women to them. Mills like to come, and some women are close to their mills and allow this. Your mom, like most Mills, wants to be there, so she asked. She didn't assume, she didn't barge in, she didn't insist. She asked. The answer was no. Your mom accepted no for an answer, as she should have. Nobody was an asshole until your Sil got offended and made up this disrespect thing. Your brother and Sil are Oz. Unless there is left out info, I'd say you're not the asshole. Your mom asked a question many grandparents ask. It's not disrespectful. Disrespectful is cutting her out of their life because she asked and accepted the no. And yeah, IDK what your bro thought was gonna happen with this situation, seeing as you didn't show up for the baby shower because of your mom. Why would you choose their child over your mom? Not the asshole. You gave them the opportunity to explain and contextualize this decision, but all they gave you was, she shouldn't have asked. You're right. That's ridiculous. Not the asshole. Well, aren't these two so very concerned about who has a right to do what? Simply being asked a question by a soon-to-be grandmother is disrespectful, and a reason to cut off contact. You being upset by that is disrespectful, and a reason to cut off contact. Seems as though getting on their T-list is a very short trip. Let's hope that the delivery doctor doesn't sneeze at the wrong time, thereby disrespecting them. Not the asshole. You Sil sucks. Your mother handled this well. Denied and moved on. She would have been an awesome grandma, and they are screwing themselves and their child by cutting her out. Good choice on choosing your mom in this scenario. Seriously, your Sil is a dumbass. She will regret the hell out of her decision. Your brother will regret it even more.